Now you're done with your drawings. You got your hidden lines, you have your object lines that are nice and dark, your construction lines with the pieces going to go together. Now we need to cut these. So what you're going to do is you're going to have stock, and you're limited by the size that it is, and they're not continuous pieces. You have 72 inches, so 36 per size. You take 1.5 to do each one of these. So with that, you're going to take these and you're going to start with your longer pieces. So first thing we do is we're going to make our tower. We're going to go one box above, one box below. We're going to draw a line, and in that line, we're going to put an X on it because that's where we're going to cut it. And then we're going to use our tools and draw a line where the line should be exactly. So just like we were drawing it. One there and one there. As we cut pieces, we're going to be crushing the wood more than we're going to be making nicely cut. So these are going to get sanded to the right size. So now that we got T done for the tower, we're going to do the longest pieces. So now our cut line is here. We're going to go one above where we need to go and one below. So it's going to draw in a line. We're going to put an X on it. That X on the line is going to be the one that we cut. Then we're going to draw our line of what the shape should theoretically look like. We're going to theoretically do that because when we glue these together sloppily, we'll retrace it, redraw it, and then cut it nicely on the scroll size. So there was 3, so now we're going to go do 4, one above, one below. Draw what it should look like. One box down, put an X on it, draw what it should look like, label it 4. Okay, so that's what we do for a circle. Very similar, do tower first. And then longer pieces next. That one's simple, one above, one below, super simple. Make sure you put your X's where you're gonna cut. Okay, and then one is our towers with your boring face. Okay, so with that, you're going to place it over, do the same thing, one above, one below. And then this one's more important that you draw it exactly what it should be like because you're going to make twinsies. So let's draw it exactly as it should look. Exactly what it should look like. And then you're going to draw that line with an X on it where you're going to cut it. One box down lower, put that X. Draw that line, put that X where you're going to cut it. And again, this is going to be sanded till it gets to the right length. All right, and then this one's super simple. If you move it up, you'll see that you'll lose an inch of material. If you flip it around and then put it back down, you don't have to do 2 cuts here. So you're going to draw with the tool where it's going to be. And if you did boring face just right, all these parts are the same. So A and B are going to be identical. Draw the line like it should look like. Put a line one box over with the X. This way you know where to cut it again. And you should be on your way to keep making sure you save as much wood as possible. All right, and don't forget that gusset plate. That one right. All right, on this fine day, after you get done tracing out your wood pieces, you're gonna work on cutting them. We're gonna use our easy cutters. You have a table to lay things flat, angles drawn into them, and then a perfectly straight line that lines up with the blade. And then have a safety here. They're spring loaded open, so you don't have to open and close them yourself. And this safety keeps them from popping open. It's very effective. The way you get that safety undone is you squeeze the handle, turn the black item out of the way, and then it'll swing open. Okay, try not to put them down with them open. Close it before placing them down. To operate these, what you're gonna remember, this is our simple machines, just like a catapult. It is a class 1 lever, pivot in the middle. The effort's going in by your hand, so you're going to squeeze it closed, and the work that's done is going to be pressing this blade into the wood to split it. So to get this to work, we're going to open it up, and here is a sample of my tower that I'm going to cut. Okay, I'm going to leave this alone. I'm going to trim this. I'm going to cut this on the line with the X in it. I'm going to bring it as close to the pivot as possible to make it stronger. I'm going to keep my hand back as far as possible. And there's a really good chance that you're going to need 2 hands as far back as possible. And you're going to squeeze and it should go right through. If it gets stuck like it did for me just there, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to twist it and it'll come out. Close the pliers. And then I see the seam there where the cutter went most of the way through. I'm going to put my thumbs right there at the seam where they put together, where they were squished, and I'm going to bend it into that to close it up, and it'll snap off the back side. Okay, and that's why we cut these with that extra space. That extra space is so that we can sand it to that point with its associated twinsy, because it's going to be 2 towers. So 2 towers together, and then we're going to sand until the correct length that we have on our drawing. And then same thing with our circles. We're going to go in, again, close to the rivet as possible. Squeeze it, pull as far back as possible. If we can't get it to go through, another trick is you can put it down and pretend you're giving it like CPR and push down until it cuts through, and then that cuts done. Again, close it up when you're done and put it down. Okay, so a few more to go. And then remember, these circles, we're not cutting the curves, we're gonna leave it sloppy, and then we're gonna glue it together just like this. And there's another video to watch. So this is gonna go together like this with these cubes, so that when we go to work, we have a little left over. So we're gonna redraw the circle and then shape it with the tools. Good luck. When you're finished cutting your pieces, really big piece of the puzzle here is you're probably going to be stuck with a whole lot of small pieces in different sizes and shapes. So when the bell's ringing and clean up, you're going to take your components and you're going to stack them like a pyramid. Largest pieces first, next size smaller, and then just take care of that. So you can't see it because I'm stacking upwards. I'll show you sideways, and save some of your small pieces. You might need these. As if you lay it down, it looks like that. So what you're going to do to make sure you store your pieces, you're going to use a tape dispenser. Get yourself a little more tape than you need, twice the width that is. What you do is you're going to put your thumb, hold the tape. You're going to stretch this tape a little bit, push it into it, and lock it to the top. And then do the same thing, hold it with your thumb, stretch it down. See, I'm pulling it like a rubber band before it rips. And now if I do that right, even before I put the last piece around, it'll stay tight. And then make sure you have your name on a couple of the pieces. I'm gonna put my name. That's not my name, but that's just a sample, and do both sides so you can find it. All right, so that should get you set up to get this part sized and shaped so you can do your job.